Good morning, and thank you for being here at Michael Zone Family Resource and Recreation Center. A great backdrop behind me of the Water Splash Park and great facility that's here. I'm going to introduce Chris Chapin, Commander Chris Chapin with Emergency Medical Services, who's going to talk to you a little bit about some of the things to look for, tips and warnings, and then we're going to go through each one of the safety and then utility. Mary McNamara, Director Mary McNamara from Aging, and then wrap it up with Director Michael Cox, who will talk a little bit about the facilities that are open and available for citizens to use during this coming heat watch. At this time, I'll turn it over to Chris Chapin. Chris?
Good morning. Commander Christopher Chapin, Cleveland EMS. I wanted to talk to you about ways to avoid heat-related emergencies. Number one is to hydrate. Don't just drink water when you're hot. You should drink water all the time. Keep yourself hydrated. That's the best way to avoid heat-related emergencies. Avoid alcohol, as that can make you more susceptible to heat-related emergencies. Don't overexert yourself. Avoid exertion if you can. If you cannot, like you have to work outside, make sure you take frequent breaks, and again, hydrate. Also, watch each other for heat-related illnesses, heat cramps, heat exhaustion, heat stroke. If somebody does suffer from heat stroke, they lose consciousness, they are confused, make sure you call 911. That is an emergency. Also, watch out for the youngest and the oldest. They are the most susceptible in these times. Check in on your neighbors, and do not leave children or animals in a car for any length of time. They can rapidly become dangerously hot. That's it for me. I want to introduce Director Mary McNamara from the Department of Aging.
Good morning. Once again, Mary McNamara with the Cleveland Department of Aging. And as we head into this excessive heat watch, I want to let you know that older adults are more susceptible to heat's negative effects. I want to encourage all residents, particularly our older residents, to take steps today to prepare and be safe during this heat watch. Excessive heat can be dangerous. And as an age-friendly city, I want to encourage all members of our city to check in today, tomorrow, and Saturday with an older adult who lives alone. It might be your neighbor, it might be a family member, and ask yourself, do they have a working cooling mechanism? Do they have access to water? And are they experiencing any signs of heat stress? And lastly, if you need help with any resources during this time, please call United Way's First Call for Help by dialing 211 on your telephone. At this time, I'd like to invite Lieutenant Mike Norman of Cleveland Fire forward.
Thanks, Mary. I'm Lieutenant Mike Norman, the Cleveland Fire Public Information Officer. The Cleveland Division of Fire is encouraging everyone to not open the hydrants. Don't open the fire hydrants. And there are several reasons for that. First off, it ties up a company. If one of our companies has to go and close that hydrant down, they're not available for another response. An open hydrant diminishes the water supply available in the event of another emergency in the area. And the third thing is it's just not safe. An open hydrant draws children towards the street. It's not a safe place for them to be playing. So we'd encourage people if they see an open hydrant in their neighborhood, you can call our non-emergency number at 216-621-1212. We'd encourage everyone to come to the pools and the splash parks. Come to the lake. We have our first ice cream social at Station 10 this Saturday from 11 to 3. That's at East 101st in Chester. So we beat the heat without playing in the street. So now I'll introduce Police Sergeant Jennifer Chach.
From the Division of Police side, our officers have a lot of responsibilities during this heat wave coming up. Our officers will be providing special attention to the parks and pools and the water parks and all of the rec centers due to extra people attending due to these being cooling stations. Our community engagement officers throughout the 5 neighborhood police districts will also be conducting well checks on elderly members of our community. We can also assist the Department of Aging by providing resources. We'd also like to urge everyone in the community to check on aging members of our community. It doesn't take much time to knock on a door and make sure that somebody who could be inside needs help, that they receive the help that they need. And I just want to follow up on what Commander Chapin stated about leaving animals outside or in cars. A car can become a coffin for a small child or for an animal very quickly. And in the event that you happen to see an animal, or especially a child in a car, unattended in this heat, that you need to call 911 so that we can have emergency services respond. So at this time, I'd like to bring up Director of Public Utilities, Chief Information Officer Jason Wood.
Thanks, Jen. As Jen mentioned, my name is Jason Wood. I'm the Chief of Public Affairs for the Department of Public Utilities. High temperatures obviously can cause stress on utility systems. There are some things that residents can do to help keep their homes nice and cool from an efficiency standpoint, to keep their cooling systems a bit more efficient and effective. Keep blinds and curtains closed during peak days to keep the direct sunlight from entering the home. Refrain from using heat-producing appliances as much as possible during the daytime hours when the temperatures are particularly high. Even if you have an air conditioner, you want to utilize fans to keep air circulating. That circulation of air can help keep body temperatures a little bit lower. And then also take a look at your air conditioning units. If you're using a window-based air conditioner, make sure that it's properly sealed. That will help keep the cold air in and the warm air out, which makes it a bit more efficient and a bit more cost-effective. And then also check your air conditioning filters. Clogged filters can cause air conditioning units to operate relatively ineffectively, which can help drive up costs and decrease the efficiency and the effectiveness of the unit itself. Additionally, we're also focused on some operational issues. I want to reiterate what Lieutenant Norman said about opening hydrants. The other risk when you open a fire hydrant, if you do it improperly, if you open it too fast or too slowly and you close it too fast, you can actually break the water main. So improperly opening a hydrant can actually put people out of water service, which is something that we'd like to avoid when these temperatures are as high as they're going to be. Extreme heat can also put stress on the electric distribution system. We've implemented an enhanced maintenance program to help us be ready for general system reliability issues, but it will also help support us during the high temperature timeframes as well. And keep in mind, we want to focus on employee safety. Our crews will be out across all 3 of our utilities, Cleveland Water, Cleveland Public Power, and Water Pollution Control, regardless of temperatures. They'll be out working to make sure that service is working as it should be. Please approach any work zone safely. We've also given them some extra training about how to work safely in the heat. A lot of the same guidelines that you'll hear for general public in terms of staying hydrated, more frequent breaks, and really asking them to look out for one another in the field as well to make sure that they're working safely. If you happen to experience a utility service interruption, a power outage, for example, from Cleveland Public Power, you're going to want to call 216-664-3156. If your water service is interrupted for some reason, you'll want to contact our 24-hour dispatch center at 216-664-3060. Or if you happen to experience a sewer backup, you'll want to call 216-664-2513. With that, I will turn it over to Mike Cox, who is the Director of Public Works.
Thank you, Jason. Again, my name is Michael Cox. I'm the Director of Public Works. Part of my responsibility is the Recreation Division. We are in a mode of opening all of our outdoor pools are open from 11:30 to 7:30 all weekend. This weekend, we also have 20 spray basins that we are opening, and we'll leave open all the way through Monday. They will be on constantly to keep our kids and everybody cool. We want all the families, not just the kids, come out, but everybody come out, including we have our indoor pools open this weekend except for Sunday. So we have 18 outdoor pools and 19 indoor pools that people can come in and stay cool. Our spray basins are located on our website just to keep kids cool. They can go there and do that. Our recreation centers, there's a list of recreation centers. Majority of our recreation centers have at least one room in it that has air conditioning. Some of them are fully air. Some of them have some rooms that are air conditioned. We invite everybody in during operational hours to come in and get cool. And we hope that everyone just stays cool, stays calm, and visit our facilities and get out of the heat for the next couple of days. Thank you.
At this time, we'll go ahead and take any questions that you might have for anyone that's here. Oh, we did a good job. Oh, yes. Not 24 hours. I do have, there's 8. It was in our press release. I'm going to resend that today. It'll list not only the recreation centers, and I'll say them right now, but also the spray basins and the link to all of the pools that will be open. Spray basins will be open 24 hours throughout the weekend. Lonnie Burton, Zelma George, Thurgood Marshall, Fairfax, Earl B. Turner, Michael Zone, Cudell, and Glenville will all be open until 11 p.m. every day throughout the weekend starting tomorrow. That's cooling and for other activities as well, but primarily to provide people an escape if they have no other place to go. Very good question. Thank you. Well, I'm going to let Jason just kind of address what they've done since last year and some of the things that we're prepared to do as well.
Yes, thank you. We've been relatively aggressive over the last 6 to 8 months in terms of enhanced maintenance. One of the primary drags in warm temperatures for outages, lines begin to sag as it gets warmer and warmer, so tree trimming is critically important. Part of our enhanced maintenance was to expand our tree trimming program. We essentially doubled the funding that we had allocated in the budget this year to do that and have been targeting high priority areas where with known issues and really working systematically as we've moved through the city to try to make sure that we've been aggressive to getting that tree trimming work done, which should help limit those numbers of outages. We're also looking to make sure we're balancing and monitoring feeder loads so we can understand where stress on the grid is coming from. So that we can adjust it accordingly as best we can. It's not to say that we won't have any power outages in the high temperatures, but we're working hard to make sure that we're minimizing that risk, and we'll be able to respond and get service restored as quickly as possible because we know that's important. We want them to go ahead and give us a call at Cleveland Public Power. The number would be 216-664-3156.
One of the other tools that we have in our kit bag is Code Red, and it's an emergency response system that provides immediate information about emergencies or crises that are taking place. So, for instance, if there is a larger than normal outage somewhere, we have the ability and the system in place called Code Red. It's a link on our homepage for Cleveland City Hall. And if you've signed up for it, you know what I'm talking about. In the winter months, we'd send out emergency messages called Code Red. It'll be an audible. There are also text messages, and it covers not just geographical areas, but specifics of locations where an issue has become problematic. And so we encourage you to sign up for, if you have not done so, to sign up for Code Red. It's a very helpful tool and one that we use very aggressively. And our folks at the Emergency Management Office and Center have messages that they send out routinely. In fact, they're doing that now while the warmer weather is here. From the National Weather Service, we send out warnings to people so that they've gotten that message as well. Any other questions? Well, thank you very much. And again, our folks up here are available if you want to do some one-on-ones after we're done here. We'd be delighted to take those questions as well. Thank you very much, and be safe.